Can she give us a really good description of hair colour, that kind of stuff?
No, she can give you a description insofar as they all seem to have brownish hair. They were all clean shaven, and they were all wearing livery from Castle Harm. They were wearing Baron Harm's colours.
I think we should go to Castle Harm.
A gold piece each will get you a night rest, meal both now and in the...
Are we good for that?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
That's the requisite amount. And then the following morning, do you then head up Harmersburn?
We go into Harm's Way.
Harmersburn being the village at the foot of Castle. All right.
We do.
It takes you a few days to get there, but get there you do. Sometime towards the evening, and even though it's a village, it's the largest village you have seen in your travel, because it's on this provincial border. You sort of it's actually in Metzu, not in Lamoureux. And it's a hive of activity because it's it's almost reaching Garrick's Ford in size. So there are a fair few inns, and there are blacksmiths and so on, preparing arms and so on. And then to the south, on a hill, sits Castle Harm. Asking around, you learn that all of the inns except the Grotesque Eagle are full. So that's what you find on arriving in Harmsburg.
Is the castle nearby?
Near enough, yeah. It's have no need to stay in the village if you don't want to now. It's sort of 6 p.m. now, and the castle figure is only a 15 to 20 minute ride from here.
Should we go straight to the castle?
I mean, I'm down for that. What about everyone else?
Yeah, don't mind that.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So you head up to the castle, and guards at the front ask you your business.
We are investigators investigating the death of Duke Olworth. Unaroth, on commission from the King. Unaroth, on commission from the King. We apologise for the late an audience with the Baron.
Well, you better speak to his steward. We'll get him.
Excellent.
And you wait.
Wait.
And wait.
Wait.
And wait. And eventually you see an elderly figure with a walk hobbling across the courtyard towards you. So you wait. And eventually he arrives. Yeah? I hear you're on commission from the king.
That is true.
Mm.
Bard, do you want to do this?
I think you're doing a pretty good job of it.
All right. We have information about the tragic death of Duke Uniroth, and we believe that Baron Harm may be in some danger.
I spoke to my lord just 2 hours ago. Fine.
We think
What makes you think?
we think someone is trying to set him up and frame him for the murder of Duke Uniroth.
What makes you think that?
Has anyone stolen livery this castle the last 3 weeks?
Stolen? No. No?
Do you have anyone? Do you know of a half-elf woman, the half-elf by the name Canagil? We described the
Yes.
three.
Yes, I know of Ken. He came here with Gust Maurice Suloch and
What are these names?
yeah, what were those?
Can we just have like Fred, Jill?
You cannot.
Jesus! Emsgar.
Which I understand is properly said. Emsgar.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes, and suspicious people, I thought, but my lord was pleased with their services. He said,
Your lord was pleased with their services?
that's what he said to me. Yes, I thought that they were shady looking.
They are the main suspects in the murder of Duke Uniroth.
Well,
And we
It
have an
was
eyewitness
strange.
account.
it was strange that my lord had them stay in rooms on his floor of the keep because I'd never seen them before. They showed up and when they first, well, I'd seen them once before and my lord sent them away with very, very shortly after they arrived. Most displeased, but then they came back 2 weeks later, very he allowed them to stay in rooms adjoining his own. It's most peculiar.
Has your lord done anything else peculiar in the last few weeks?
Now that you mention it, he hasn't really been himself lately. I suppose
Doppelganger!
his behaviour has been somewhat odd. Seems to have lapses of memory, basic things.
I'm thinking we get an audience with him and we compel him to tell the truth through a suggestion and I do detect thoughts at the same time. We have Barbarian extremely handy. Well, it turns out to and I convey this through a wink.
Ah, yes, the language of winks. Perhaps
Maybe we have an audio. Yeah.
perhaps we take a step away from the steward to discuss our plans before we have an audience.
May we seek an audience with the Baron?
Well, I suppose.
Perhaps you'd like to have a word with him.
Yes. Perhaps you can come back in the morning.
Sorry, what was that?
Perhaps you can come back in the morning.
We'll come back in the morning. Okay, so we ride back.
Yes.
Once we're out of earshot and out of eyesight, we'll have a chat. What do we want to do? Do you want to break in, find the Baron, put our plan in action?
I think we just come back tomorrow and talk to him.
Okay.
Unless he goes to the Baron, unless the steward goes to the Baron and lets him know there were strange people here asking.
Yeah, if we do wait till tomorrow, I would be sleeping extra light. I wouldn't be trusting anyone coming and knocking, if they even do knock. But who's to say that if the Baron is truly compromised in some way? Who's to say the steward's not in on it?
Well, the steward did volunteer that they were suspicious characters. The Baron changed the Baron out of sorts and had memory lapses.
That's true.
I think the
Just-
steward is. Sorry?
Just if it comes down to it, don't be surprised if the steward tries to slip a knife through your ribs.
How big is this castle?
It's a decent size. It's not as big as Castle, but it's a decent size because north of Harmisburn is to call it wilderness is probably taking it too far, but it's not tamed land, and so there's all manner of threats to gods-fearing people. So it's a sort of outpost against the wilds.
So should we do it tonight?
Might be the better course of action.
Right. Okay. Shall we go over the wall, or we can go past the guards with suggestion, persuasion stuff, bard stuff, or we can go over the wall, thief.
Information acquirer.
Oh, sorry, our rogue.
I mean, I like the idea of walking past the guards again and using any means to make them think that we just forgot something, and then kind of just walk our way in from their every room. Because then we complete ignorance versus if we get caught appearing to be in a really bad position and ruining any credibility we may have started to create here.
Okay, we'll go back to. Are we ready? Go back to the gates.
Okay, you go back to the gates, and the guards look at you and say, "Ah, seems like only today."
It was but an hour ago.
Hmm.
We have something else. Steward,
That all broke up very, very bad.
Yeah.
We have something else to talk to the steward about. Can you please let us through?
Well, as you can see, he's only just making the door, so if you hurry, you catch him.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, we run after him.
Turns and says, "Yes."
Okay.
Yes.
I think this needs top level persuasion.
Out of character for a second because I'm confused about something. For spells, if it says it needs a component, do I have to have that component on my character?
If you have a spellcasting focus, it replaces a component if it doesn't have a gold cost or
That's right.
consumes the thing.
Oh, so that would just be my instrument.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I was confused about that.
Are you going to cast a charm person through some bagpipes?
Excuse you, I also carry a lute.
Okay.
But
But I-
why stop just when we're having? So I think it must be the bag.
Oh god.
No, I'm kidding. Entirely kidding.
Suggestion or charm person?
Suggestion is kinda. A little. I think it's better. Can we persuade him first?
All right, let me. Okay, I will approach the steward and roll persuasion.
Yes, but I'm sure that you'll actually say something. Dyson.
I'm having another stupid moment.
I think all we really need to see is if we can get face to face with the Baron, we can expose him, and then we can chop him up.
Man, I don't think the chopping would go down very well.
No. Okay, I
Oh,
will.
yeah, but like if we do the review.
I will approach the steward and ask very politely if we can see the Baron,
Yes.
despite the time of night.
There you go. He says, "Well, if you very well, follow me."
Ren.
And he leads you up to the top floor and says, "My lord's in his private chamber at the moment. I will show you to." And he knocks twice on the door, and you hear a husky voice from the other side say, "Yeah." And the steward opens the door, and inside you find a large, late middle-aged man with a beard and who's wearing sort of fairly casual, not fine clothing, and says, "What is it?" The steward introduces you and says, "My lord, some delegates of the king," and then shows himself out.
So it's like all five of us and him.
Yes, just him.
Just him. Okay, I introduce us. Barak, Nerissus, Mindatus. Oh, I've forgotten
And the rest.
Zane.
Zane, and myself. We are investigators, work the commission of the king into the death of Baron Uniroth.
Uniroth. Mhm.
And we have some grave fears for yourself that have come up through this investigation.
Well, as you can see, I'm fine.
Okay, I'm going to do my
Can't say the same for Duke Josiah. He looks like he's.
Okay, I'm going to cast my detect thoughts so that tell that I've cast it, and have a listen to his surface thoughts. And someone else, can you step up?
Yeah, I'll step up and I'll say, my lord, we've just come from not too far from here. We were investigating the death of Uniroth, and he wrote a message, and it was in code, and it looks like the last thing he did, and in it he mentioned saving you. Why would he write that? I know you're safe right now, but I don't know how safe you might be.
Well, I don't know. I mean, man's last thoughts. Maybe he was hallucinating. I don't know. And Jeff, you ascertain just this. Shit.
What are you hiding from us, Baron Harm?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not hiding anything.
Can you tell us about Canison Giel and Usmuri Sulo and Mgar? How you pronounce it?
Oh yeah, they're just a few blokes, you know. They're just lovely people. They stayed here for a little while and about puppies.
And what is his thoughts?
His thoughts is shit. Now, if that's all, you know, you can see my steward for the way out. I'm sure you've got more important things to do than talk to me about those three or anything else.
Should we push it? Should we push it? So see if we can make him crack.
I'm tempted to.
Come on, I know that we've got a barbarian break it.
All right, so
first encounter.
Hearing Jimmy throw some mild accusations, I'll say, look, Baron, we have good evidence that these people murdered the Duke and are trying to pin it on Jessar. We have enough to put them away, and so the whole Jessar plot has fallen apart. Is there anything you can tell us that might be viewed favorably by the king?
Well, look, you know, I suppose I could tell you to get fucked.
So the nobles of this land have Australian accents?
Oh god.
initiative.
Hey! Dwarf.
I was trying to be nice to him. That was his way out. He could have turncoated and totally been the savior of his own duchy.
20!
How did- I forgot how to roll for initiative.
Just a D20 plus your dex mod. What's your dex modifier, Jimmy?
Sorry. I think it's +3.
Okay, so Jimmy goes first. Mindatus, are you rolling for initiative?
I will be in just 1 second.
I have a kitten to help me.
Yeah. Right, Jimmy, what are you going to do?
I'm going to move behind the dwarf.
Right, okay. Anything
And,
else?
and I'm going to wait to react.
All right. Alric?
I will.
Oh, no, I'm going to cast my bless. I'm going to cast a bless.
Oh,
Just in time. Nick of time.
Okay.
All right, and what does Bless do?
It gives a number of people bonuses in their next attacks. And I'm
Okay.
going to give it to, I think it's 3 people. 3 creatures of your choice within range. To attack roll, they can an additional d4, add that number to the attack roll saving.
Okay.
So it's going to be Barak and Mindatus and Zane.
Okay.
So I get advantage, is that what that is?
No, you
Or
get
plus
a
4.
A d4.
Okay.
Barak, what are you going to do?
So Barak is going to step forward, roll up his sleeves, and grapple, attempt to grapple at the Baron.
Okay, attempting to grapple. Roll for that. Roll to hit.
Where is the? There we go.
Okay. Yes, you manage to grab hold of him.
Excellent. And
Um,
I probably should have done it first, but I will go into a rage as well
Raging.
afterwards.
Raging grapple.
Yes.
Okay. Did I get that right? No, I've just read that down the screen. Sorry. You should not have this, but if everybody else is happy with it, I'll allow it. Neresis, what do you think?
I should also be a default on top of that as well.
Neresis,
I will move back and prepare myself for a reaction.
okay. Zane,
I will move up to the opposite side of Barak, and I will attack with my Tigger. Do I add 4 to the attack roll?
d4.
1d4?
1d4 to the attack roll, yeah. On top of your other.
16 to hit.
Okay, you hit.
So that's with sneak attack.
Sure. You missed out the roll.
Sorry, my bad. $16 damage.
Yep.
No, say you should stop.
All right. No worries. It sort of tries to break free from the grapple, but fails. No, well, doesn't try. Seems to be struggling, but that appears, not to be resisting particularly much. Mindatus.
Will Shocking Grasp come on.
Uh, 14 hits.
All right. Come on.
Okay. Do damage.
And says, I say, we don't want to hurt you. Just calm down.
Right. Okay. Jimmy.
Are we up to new attacks?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you just say, tell us the truth.
We do not want to hurt you. Can you please tell us the truth?
Oh, I'm back. Awesome.
Okay. Zane.
I'm going to hold my action for him to speak. If he appears aggressive, I will cast Charm Person at first level. He rolls with advantage because we're fighting him, and he needs to beat my DC of 13.
So
But I cast. It's a held action, so I'm not casting it yet, but I will cast it if he says anything aggressive to try and control him that way.
Barak, continuing to grapple.
Yes, I'll just keep him grappled.
Okay.
Which actually means I
Says,
think
all
my
right,
rage,
I'll tell you.
my
I'll tell
rage
you.
drops off that.
I mean, I'd rather get some money. I'll tell you. Beale hired me. He hired me to infiltrate this castle. I was in Ledian, and they'd been. I was in Squall's End, and these guys had been asking questions about Castle Lamb, and I don't know. They hired me to come here and do what I do.
And what is it that you do?
Well, let me show you. And before your eyes, he turns into Barak.
Fuck.
Where's the Duke?
No, the Baron.
Sorry, where's the Baron?
Oh, he's in the cupboard.
Who's closest to the
Course he
cupboard?
is.
I'm gonna go and open the cupboard.
Okay, you open the cupboard, and inside a bound and gagged person who looks like the person that the creature used to look like.
I'm going to remove my my silver dagger, Drake's dagger, and I'm gonna cut his
Okay.
and help him out of the cupboard.
Yep. He creaks his way to his feet. He's obviously being bound and gagged there for time. He's looking pretty emaciated and dehydrated, and much the way his lips are cracked. He's not being well looked after at all.
I'm going to start pulling out some of my rations and water out of my bag and trying to do my clumsy attempt at first.
Okay, all right. The creature that Barak's shakes. I can't believe we got as far as we. Normally a scam like this takes weeks to pull off. If it wasn't for that idiot steward up being caught, days into the scam, but yeah, it seems to have gone off pretty well. Well worth the money.
We're arresting you for the murder of Felicity and the murder of Yannerworth.
I didn't do anything about any murder. Didn't know anything about it.
Yannerworth.
Do you know where your companions went?
Nah.
Well, if we can't find them, guess who's going down for the murder? My friend.
Well, we'll see about that. I've got out of worse scrapes than this before.
Okay, I'm going to go get the steward.
And I'm going to remove the binds. Oh no, I'll use my own my silken rope. I'll cut off a bit, and I will bind and gag this person. And for good measure, I'll also blindfold him.
Before you manage to put the gag on, he says, "Hey Barak, did I tell you I know where your father is?"
I will get around
I
to
tell him,
visiting
"Shut
that old
up."
fucker.
What? I couldn't hear you. What was that?
I'll get around to finding that old fucker, but in my own time. I will not sacrifice the job I'm on for now for a personal vendetta.
All right. It's your funeral.
Nah, it'll be his.
And
Alright.
I pull the knot tight.
Okay. All right. And so you've gone to get the steward? comes in and says, "Oh my goodness, who's that?"
That's the change.
Changeling.
The doppelganger that's been in person. And your lord is safe.
Oh, he looks terrible.
While this is going on, can I walk over to the Baron and cast Healing Word on him?
Yes. Yep. Can do that. Doesn't appear to do very much. The he's in an exhausted, not wounded per se. But so he's grateful for the ration. But seeing him eating those rations, the steward says, "I'll put that down, my lord. I'll get you some finer." And he sort of bustles off away to go and sort things out.
If he's able to, I'll help the Duke to the Baron. Jeez, the Baron to his feet, and I'll lead him to the bed to lie down.
Yeah, he says, "Thank you for saving my life. I don't think I would have much longer. I don't know what's been going on, but I fear treacherous deeds have."
Indeed, there's a lot to catch you up on, but rest for now. What do you want us to do with this prisoner?
Well,
He's our prisoner.
Oh yeah, we arrested him. Never mind. Never mind.
so I think the question is more, what do you want?
I'll look over at the rest of the guys. How do you keep a changeling prisoner?
Hog time, I think, is a good start.
Yeah. Keep him blindfolded so he can't try and fool his way out of things as much as easily.
Yep.
I think we
I
should
mean,
keep
there is
him
one definite way to stop him from running, but not sure how open
His legs off.
you lot are to certain solutions.
Well, I think as long as we keep him deaf, dumb, and blind, he can't do too much. And if we keep him covered, he can't change into anyone famous and cause any mischief that way. So I think we need him alive.
You have seen him turn from something human-sized and shaped to something sized and shaped.
Does our letter of investigation give us any?
Is it your signal or my signal?
I don't know.
I think you're both a little bit cutty-outy.
Yeah, okay. So that again.
Does the letter from the king give it power?
You're broken up again. Give you power to. Yes, that's probably the better option. Jeff is now writing. I feel like you were getting a better signal. Investigation using necessary steps to conduct your investigation. It does not include powers of subjection.
Oh, the Baron. The Baron will have the power. The Baron will be able to summary.
The Baron may well be. He's fallen asleep.
But do we want to execute our only suspect at the moment?
I believe we need to keep him alive, just as you know,
Insurance.
and as a witness. He
That's
knows.
true.
Exhibit C.
Rowie, would there be any healers within this castle?
But apart from us,
Who are you asking?
I'm asking the DM, but I can wait for the steward to come back and ask him instead. What I'm after is I'm after a healer, someone who would administer first aid and may have access to potions like a sleeping draft.
Oh, you'll have to wait for the steward to get. All right. Eventually, the steward comes back. He says, "We have an apothecary can concoct sedatives and so."
How many can he concoct in a short space of time? We'd like to keep this one not awake for as long as possible, because we think that anything we bind him by, he might be able to get out of.
I can ask.
Thanks.
All right. Anything else? So you're waiting for that answer. The answer comes that it's not a sleeping potion, right? But a sedative that would make someone drowsy and lethargic, and he could have enough of that to last a week or so. Cost about 40 gold pieces.
For a week's worth?
Yeah.
I'll reach into my bag and say, yeah, can you make it happen? And I'll hand him 40 gold.
The steward says, consider it.
Does someone want to knock that guy out, by the way? So we don't have to keep restraining him physically?
With pleasure. Bap.
I'd say
Yes.
we keep him restrained anyway.
Yeah, binded, but not like we don't have to like hold him constantly if we just keep him unconscious. At least he can't hear our plans as well.
All right. Eventually, so the steward says you can stay here for the night. You can use the rooms that those three characters stayed in. And the following day, sort of midday-ish, he returns with a large vial of a kind of syrupy substance, and says, the apothecary says you put some in there in the meal. It says if you really want to be sure of it, not sure what the effect might be.
Sorry, I missed that. If you really want to be sure of it, something.
You could use double doses, but you'll run out sooner, but it'll be a surer thing.
All right, so you put a little bit in the meal.
About a teaspoon or to do it if you were just looking to make somebody drowsy. A couple of teaspoons if you wanted to make really drowsy.
Okay. I'll ask for some food, something basic, like the equivalent of porridge, and I'll douse it in that and force feed the guy.
You'll force feed him?
Yep.
All right. Good. He is resistant, but
Barrack
And I
not
have-
gleefully help in that regards.
there's only so much.
Yeah, my idea would be to have Barrack like hold his mouth open, and then I'd do like the farmer to the geese kind of style.
Sure. He does try to spit it out, and you're not sure that you've got as much in. You haven't got all of it.
Does he start getting more lethargic?
Not immediately.
Okay. When he starts, I might top up with like a half dose small amount of porridge now that he's more pliable. Whenever that.
Sure. No worries. Okay. Anything else?
I'll turn to the group and say, if these are the rooms that those guys stayed in, do you want to maybe check it for clues? See if they left anything behind?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Who's investigating?
Good question.
Let's say it's Mindatus, because I think
Okay.
the action modifier. I have rolled for you, Mindatus, and so far as you can tell, there is nothing out of the.
They haven't left any belongings anywhere or anything like that?
No.
Bit too much to hope for. Well, I think we all just have a nice rest then.
Well, you rested last night. You have got the sedative that you're looking for.
Maybe the bard could go and play a soothing song for the Baron if he's up, and maybe find out if the Baron knows what they were doing here. Just as a suggestion.
Ah, yes, a soothing song with my bagpipes. I'll use my lute.
All right. So you're asking what he knows. He says, "Look, Gil and his associate came to see me, and they claimed that they were in the service of the king, and in fact they had papers. They claimed showed that he was in the king's service, and for all I knew, but then they suggested that I could replace Duke Unaroth as the ruler of Lamaron. And I thought there was something wrong about that suggestion. So I just said, but then Gil came back and he gave my steward a document, a sealed, and said they had to come in. And the three of them came back in. But then the one that was called Sulok, in front of my very eye, changed and took on my own appearance as the others grabbed me and bound me and threw me into the and then they I heard that creature with my steward in the room. I heard them making light of the world and appearing to be in good terms. I heard that creature take these three scoundrels into the service of Castle Harm. And then they left, and that's all I know.
Do you know where they came from?
No.
Because Uniroth is dead, and we believe that these three, if not directly involved, helped the murder happen. Uniroth actually warned us about you and that you were in danger, which is why we're here. It seems that Uniroth saved your life beyond the grave.
Well, he was always an honourable.
And you repaid it with good loyalty. If you have any information, any reason why putting you in Uniroth's place may have caused, who stands to gain? Like, what motive would they have to replace you in that power, that position of power? And why would they want to implicate Jasar in all of this as well?
I don't know if they ever really intended to have me replace Uniroth. I don't know. I think, but they claim to be doing so on the, and which is why I was immediately, which strike me being the kind of thing.
Do you happen to have that King's letter, or do they keep it on them, on their
No,
person? They did leave for Malith after this. Do you know why they would do that? Are they looking to create more havoc up north?
No idea.
I'll turn to the rest of the group and go, what do you guys think?
I think we get.
All I would say is leaving in the direction we're going to.
What was that, Roo?
Leaving in the direction of somewhere doesn't mean.
You dropped out exactly the same spot for me. You went leaving the direction of, and then you cut off.
Leaving in the direction of place doesn't mean that you are going to necessarily.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. So leaving that direction doesn't necessarily mean you're going there. You're just going that direction. Gotcha.
What do you think we get someone trusted beyond a doubt to transport this piece of scum changeling to Jasar for a proper interrogation, and we go after the other three?
I'll turn to the Baron and say, do you have any people who are masters of magic arts?
No. I think if the Duke Jasar has asked you to clear his name, then if you feel you've cleared his name, back to
We'll draft a letter to go back to Jasar with the prisoner, and we'll let him bring him up to date, address the king as well.
Sorry, say the last part again.
We'll address it to the king as well, in case the send it to the. I'm watching my green light flash out. It's really quite weird just watching it go out.
Yeah.
What's going on? Yours is always steady. Ray with flashes. Mine.
Yeah, when yours flashes, that's when I can't hear you.
Yeah.
It's only when it's green I can hear you, and then it comes out. I don't know if you like. It's almost as if you're not pressing the button fully, but I think it might be reception versus your button.
Do you have a?
If you're pushed to talk, I mean.
I'm not pushed to talk. I'm. Jeff, are you using the microphone built in? Can you hear me? Is that better?
I can hear you. I've tried saying a longer sentence because usually it bottoms out when you speak
Let's
for a
check.
longer period.